I'm Harrison Spain. I'm an applications engineer at JADAK Novanta. There are many applications that require their users to utilize their libraries as is or recreate those libraries from scratch to add custom features. A unique feature of Clarity Studio is that the program provides the user direct access to the code being generated and allows for real-time editing. Using the dynamic code editor window, anyone with the basic knowledge of Python can make changes on the fly. With this feature in mind, you can modify outputs, add parameters, customize existing logic, or even bring in your own internally developed machine vision algorithms. This makes Clarity Studio extremely flexible and unique in the marketplace when compared with other software tools that are more rigid or only provide a limited set of tools. We're really excited about this feature. If you'd like, you can always create your own node from scratch as well. Clarity Studio's editor, it includes features that are common in popular code editors, such as the ability to undo and redo, the ability to find code simply just by using Control F, and then highlighting of similar code. So if you highlight a function with the same name, you're going to see it throughout the code window, and auto-completion. So a node is a predefined custom class used for machine vision purposes. Nodes are found on the left side of the Node tab and can be dragged onto the canvas for use. In this example, we're going to use the Acquire Image Camera node. And we're going to connect to a Line Finder node. Libraries and node naming is this current section that we're going over. Custom classes along with standard libraries stored in Clarity Studio. Data directory can be accessed in the node using an import statement. Node names can be defined by changing the name of the class. This top section here relates to all your imports, classes / libraries. So if you have a custom class, you're gonna go ahead and import them, as well as all the necessary classes needed in your specific node. Now, if you wanted to change the name of the node, you would go ahead and change the name on this line where it mentions class. You could define it as follows here. And by doing so, you'll see that the name of the node changes accordingly. Inputs are defined in the attributes function and are completed by defining the input. After defining an input, they are found on the left side of the given node, allowing you to connect the input to other nodes, typically their outputs. And this is essentially where you will see, you can see on the given node that we're working with, after adding the input in the attributes function, it's now visible on that left side. So in this example, we're using the Acquire Image Camera node and the Custom Line Finder. Now that the Custom Line Finder's input has been defined, the image input, I'm able to connect the output of the previous node to the input of this custom node we're working on. Now, what you may have noticed is an important feature. Whenever you go to use the Save button when you change code in the dynamic editor, it acts as a fail-safe. Basically, it won't allow you to save any code that has potential errors. Outputs follow the same structure and can be found on the right side of a node after definition. And we can show that as an example here. After making a change and adding the output and saving the code because it worked correctly, you can see that the result is added to the right side and is now going to be accessible by other nodes. Parameter properties such as int, combo box, and bool are common parameters found in Clarity Studio. Upon definition, they are in the properties section on the bottom left of the applications console, which you can see down here. Once we define a parameter, you can make changes to it accordingly. And go ahead and populate that as well here. In this example, we're using a Boolean parameter. Expand the window here so it's a little more visible. You may have noticed this notification here. It's essentially a red underline. It's showing me that if I were to press the save button, I'm going to get an error. It's not going to let me save the code. Now, if I properly follow the correct syntax by adding a comma so the next parameter's prepared, press save, it makes the change. And when you look down in this properties tab, you can see that that parameter defined as suppress log info that we just created is now accessible. Now, given that it has a value of true or false, I can make changes to it accordingly by toggling this button. Now that the custom line finder's input has been defined, the image input, I'm able to connect the output of the previous node to the input of this custom node we're working on. All right, the process script function is where the bulk of the node actions will occur. You're able to access the data brought in from your inputs, make changes to your outputs, and utilize your parameters created. In this example, we're going to use a Boolean parameter that we defined above. What I can do here is add the Boolean parameter to the area that I want to make changes to. All right. So we know in the properties tab, you can see the suppress log info Boolean parameter that was created. Now, if I run this code this one time, you'll see a specific amount of log data output. Now, if I make changes to the Boolean parameter by toggling the checkbox and run the same code, I'm going to execute the graph again, you'll see a change in what was populated to the log. So to summarize, Clarity Studio is similar to other popular code editors, and they allow the user to feel more comfortable when coding in this environment. We also went over libraries and classes and customizing node names. We showed how to initialize inputs and outputs as well as parameters and process data. I hope that you found this video useful. To learn more about Clarity Studio and to see more videos, please check out our website. Thank you.